Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. Under the Human Rights Act 1998 and the European Convention of Human Rights, disabled people have a right to be treated with dignity and respect. Now, that's a fundamental right. The UK and the Scottish Government also have a duty to progressively realise these rights contained in the UN Convention of the Rights of Disabled People, which includes the rights to adequate income and to be fully included in social and community life. That means the right to safety, security and the right to live life, or, in some cases, what's left of that life, free from the worry of being able to afford to heat or eat. Now, Inclusion Scotland tells us, and I thank them for their briefing, that disabled people are being robbed of their dignity and respect, and adequate income and sometimes even their lives by the current benefit system. Sanctions are being imposed unfairly and disproportionately on disabled people, especially those with learning disabilities and mental health issues. And a combination of welfare reforms, the work capability assessment, mandatory reconsideration and sanctions are pushing an increasing number of disabled people into poverty and destitution. And one in five GISA sanctions are applied against disabled people. Now let's look at one aspect of the current regime, PIP. And Mr Tompkins attempted to convince us that PIP was working well. So here's the reality for a current claimant this week. A person with motor neuron disease has been asked to undertake his PIP reassessment by questionnaire over a year in advance of the date his current claim ends. So let's not forget, the prognosis for someone with motor neuron disease is 14 very short months. So he received a questionnaire in February this year, when the award runs until May 2017, a whole 15 months away. 15 months, when you may only have 14 months left of your life, and much of that with decreasing quality and independence. Renewal forms usually go out between 3 and 6 months before the renewal date. So what's this all about? He's been asked on the questionnaire to state how his disability affects him now. Now, anybody that knows motor neuron disease will know that the rapid progression of it, you can change from day to day, but you progressively always get worse. This assessment would give a snapshot of the illness as it is now and would have little bearing on how the illness progresses or how it might be affecting him next May, should he actually make it till then. This has caused stress and anxiety for this gentleman, who could be given a lower award of PIP than he might actually require next year. So he would need to be reassessed again. That stress and anxiety could rob him of his confidence and, more importantly, the precious little time he has left. He was also made aware that he could be called up to face reassessment. Not only the stress of all of this, but a reassessment. So this gentleman contacted the Motor Neuron Disease Scotland Welfare and Benefits Officer, and after much toing and froing and stress and anxiety, they managed to resolve the situation just recently. Should he have needed to go through that whole process? I say no, he shouldn't have. The stress that he's been through in trying to deal with the DWP and get a common sense approach to his renewal process has had an adverse impact on his life, and is neither a fair nor dignified way to deal with people who have a terminal progressive illness. Mr Tompkins.
Mr Tompkins.
Well, Christina McKelvie, for the reasons that she's outlined in her speech, therefore support the Scottish Conservatives in pressing the Scottish Government to transfer these powers to this Parliament as soon as possible.
I think the committee that dealt with the devolution of powers did that very well on their own. What we need is the budgets to transfer with them. So you take your part in the process and I'll take my part in the process. But I agree with Motor Neuron Disease Scotland, who believes that people with the illness should be exempt from assessment, as used to happen under the incapacity benefit, which predated employment support allowance. I also agree with Motor Neuron Disease Scotland that as long as a PIP is in place, people with MND should receive a lifetime award of higher level PIPs so they do not need to contend with a renewal process in the first place. Presiding Officer, next week I will be hosting an MND exhibition. I suggest Mr Tompkins and his colleagues go and speak to the people who will be there, and he'll maybe get a better picture. So if we truly want to ensure that we put dignity and respect at the heart of this new system, we need to ensure as quickly as possible that we protect people with MND and other life-limiting disabilities from a culture of a system that does not treat them with dignity and respect. And I believe this government has and will do that, and that with early talks, the people affected will ensure that this government will live up to that promise.
Thank you very much.